Okay, so here we go on quiz number 6, covering Unit 3 homeworks 4 through 8. So they're giving us a universal set, 1 through 10, and then A, B, and C. They want us to do A overlap B bar, B complement. So remember that the overlap means, it's overlap, and it means elements in both sets. Both first and second sets. Whereas the U means union, and that means the elements in the first, let's just say either one, in either set. Okay, so that's what those symbols mean. So first off, let's just do A. Let's do this slowly. A is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Overlap with B. Now, what is B complement? This is not B, right? Opposite of B. Well, B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's not B? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? That's the opposite of B. That's not B. If B is 1 through 5, then the opposite of B is 6 through 10. Okay, now we're supposed to take this set and this set and take the overlap. What's the overlap? What are the elements that are in both sets? Looks like 7 and 9. 7 and 9. Yeah, that's it. 7 and 9. There we go. So there's part A. Let's try part B down here. Part B is A complement overlap C. So what is a complement? That's not A. What's A is the odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So not A is the even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Overlap with C, and I'll just copy down C, is 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so now I'm supposed to take this set and this set and take the overlap. Overlap again means what's in both sets. So what's in both here? Looks like 4 is in both, 6 is in both, 8 is in both. So it's 4, 6, and 8. All right, there we go. Let's go to the next screen and try C and D. So C, which is going to be, part C, which is B union C bar. All right, so what is set B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. United with C bar. This again means not C, the opposite of C. C is that. So what's the opposite of C? 1, 2, and then it's got 3, 4, 5, and it's got 6, 7, it's got 8, 9, and 10. That's the opposite of C. Okay, now what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to take this set and unite them. What does the U mean? Union, elements in either set. So just whatever's in either set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just take all of that set and then throw in anything extra. 7 and 10, huh? There it is. There's the answer to that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just grab the first set and throw in anything extra, 7 and 10. It's the uniting of the two sets together. It's anything that's in either set. All right, and now part D. It's going to be A bar union B. So A bar, that again means not A. So A is the odd number, so not A would be the even. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. United with, and then B is just right here, 1 through 5. All right, and then we're supposed to take this set, union. Again, what does union mean? Unite them together, elements in either set. So just take all of this one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and add into it any of these, which would be 1, 3, and 5. So throw in a 1, sneak in a 3 there, and a 5 there. There it is. Those two sets united together, anything that's in either set. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8 and 10. There's the answer to that one. All right, now finally we're going to do E and F, which have bars over the whole thing. So, right here, so I'm bringing E up here. So it's B union C, bar over the whole thing. So what's that to? So bar over the whole expression, means take the opposite at the end, right? Because it's the opposite of everything, not just like opposite of A or opposite of C. It's the opposite of everything. So you got to first find everything and then take the opposite at the end of everything. Okay. So first off, I'm just going to find B union C. And then when I'm all done, I'll take the opposite. So what's B union C? Well, what's B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. United with C. What's C? 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I'm supposed to unite those. And what does U mean? Unite means elements in either set. Just unite them together. So remember what you do here is you just take the first set. Just take everything in the first set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then throw in it anything from the second set. 6, 8, and 9. Anything new. So that's the union. That's them united, put together, anything that's in either set. And now we're supposed to do the opposite of that. B union C, opposite. So the opposite of this, what's not there, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7's not there, 8, 9, and 10's not there. There we go. So this is 7 and 10. All right, let's finally try part F. So that's A overlap B, bar over the whole thing. So again, we're just going to start with A overlap B, and we'll do the opposite at the end. So what's A? The odd numbers. Overlap, and B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's the overlap? So this is overlap. Remember what overlap means? Overlap is both, elements in both. It's like an A for and. That's how I always think of it. It's like you can make an A out of that U turned over. Overlap, put a thing there, it's an and. I just think and. It's the elements that are in the first and in the second. So what's in both? 1, 3, 5. That's it. 1, 3, and 5 are the elements in both. That's the overlap there. Okay, but we need to now do the opposite. So we're supposed to take A overlap B, opposite of that. So the opposite of this is everything else. So 2, 4, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. We did the opposite at the end. Got everything else. Okay, so here we go with number 2. Fraternity, 35 members, 18 take math, 5 take math and literature, 8 take neither math nor literature. How many take literature but not math? Okay, well, the best way to do this would be to draw a Venn diagram. It'll help us. And the two circles are math and literature. All right. And what does it say? 18 take math. Can I put the 18 right there? No, this area and this area together must make 18, huh? 18 total in the math circle. So instead I should start with the 5 here. 5 take math and literature. That's the middle. And then back up. 18 take math, so this must be 13. because that gives me 18 total in the whole math circle. And 8 take neither math nor literature. That's the outside, right? They're not in the math circle. They're not in the literature circle. What's this other area then? Well, it's 35 total, right? So 13, 5, and 8, if you add that up, it's 26. So subtract from 35, 9. So this must be 9. All right, now what's their question? How many take literature but not math? Literature but not math. That's these 9, huh? They're in the literature circle, but they're not in the math circle. There we go. Okay, well, this is kind of a funny question. This is the empty set, and then it has that little mark there. That's the same as empty set with a bar over it. That little mark and the bar mean the same thing. There are two different ways of saying opposite. So this means opposite of the empty set. So what's the opposite of the empty set? Everything. There's our answer. It's kind of a weird question. The opposite of the empty set is everything. Here it is. That's all there is to it. Okay, well, that was kind of a weird one. Number 3 will be different for everybody. So let me do one that's a little more normal. So let me just go here and let me make up a new number 3, because you might get one quite a bit different. You might get one like that. So let me do a Venn diagram. Let's pretend you had that one. That's one that comes up sometimes for people. So let's try that one. So here's circle A, here's circle B. Okay, so how would we shade that one? Well, remember what the U means. It's a union. It's shade either one. Okay, so let's do this. There's the way I think it's helpful. Let's do A first off. So what regions have A? This and this. Those two regions are both in circle A, aren't they? Let's do B bar. So this is B bar and this is B bar. It's the same. That little mark means not B, outside of B. So those two regions are outside of B, aren't they? So now, what are we supposed to do? Union is in the middle, which means shade either one. So where there's an A or a B bar. So I'd shade this region, and the whole outside, because all three of those regions have either an A or a B bar. The only one that would not be shaded is this region here. He would not be shaded. Everything else is shaded. All right, so hopefully that helps if you have a different variety on number 3 for you. Let's go to number 4. So on number 4 here, they're asking us to kind of work backwards. They're giving us the picture, and they want us to work back to the statement. Well, this one's a little tricky. You can tell that it's all of circle, and let me go back there. You can tell it's all of circle Q, but it's taken out the D part. See what I'm saying? See, if they shaded all of circle Q, it would be this, right? That's all of circle Q. But then the D part has been subtracted out. See how it's Q minus D? It's circle Q, subtract the D part. That's what it is. That's what that minus means. Subtract. Take out D. So it's, it's Q, take out D. All right, let's try part B here. What's this? Now notice they've shaded only the outside. Only the outside. So in other words, this, if you think about it, this is the not D area. And it's also the not Q area. It's this one. It's where the not D and the not Q overlap. It's the not D area and the not Q area. It's where they overlap. And then the final part C, this is pretty tricky. Notice that the answer, I'm just going to kind of work it backwards. Notice if they did it right here, they didn't do all of that, I realize, but that's the overlapping of circles D and Q, isn't it? Right? If I did with a slight adjustment. So if we had all of D, it would be that. If we had all of Q, it would be that. So that middle area is the overlapping of D and Q, which is that and that. It's got to be one of those two. It's the overlapping of D and Q, but it's also, they're not keeping this region. They're instead keeping this region. So what is that region? That region is not in circle Y, huh? This region up here is not in circle Y. Not in circle Y. There we go. So that's a little tricky. So this region here is in D and Q and not in circle Y. D and Q and not in circle Y. It's the overlap of D and Q overlapped with not Y territory. Okay, so this says 4 negative 5s. Which one of those has 4 negative 5s? Part C. See how it's got, this is going back 5 more, and 5 more. It goes back. And you might say, well, this one does too. Yeah, but it starts at 20. You're not supposed to start at 20. The answer is negative 20, right? That's the answer to the problem. You're supposed to end at negative 20. Start at 0 and go back 5 4 times. So that's the right answer. Okay, so here on number 6, we're supposed to show which one is negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Well, that means remove. The negative means remove 4 groups of negative 2. Right? If that was positive 4, it would mean add in 4 groups of negative 2. But it's negative, it's take away, right? Take away. Negative is take away or remove. If it was positive, it would be add in or, yeah, it'd be add in. But it's take away 4 groups of negative 2. That's the real feel. See how we're going for the feeling of negative and positive. Negative is take away, positive is add in. So take away 4 groups of negative 2. Which of those is taking away 4 groups of negative 2? This one. See these 4 groups of negative 2 that are being taken away? Taken away. It's D. And see what it leaves? See when they take out those 4 negatives, what's left in there? Plus 8. 8 positive signs, which is indeed the answer. That's a way of proving or showing for kids that take away 4 groups of negative 2 leaves 8 positive, right? Because we started with 0. See how the circle started with just nothing? A fancy 0, because there was the same number of positives and negatives. 8 positives, 8 negatives. So it was just started with nothing, a fancy 0. And then we took out 4 groups of negative 2. Take away 4 groups of negative 2. And what are we left with? Positive 8. That's a way for them to feel the truth of 2 negatives multiplying to be a positive. It's true. It's not just some math made up thing. It's reflecting, math is made up, but it's reflecting something true in life. Okay, so in each of the charge field models to the right, the encircled charges are removed. So they're removing this circle and this circle charge. So they're removing 2 groups, right? Remove 2 groups. That's negative 2. 2 groups of what? 2 groups of negative 5. Aren't they? Right? Because each of them have 5 minus signs. 5 minus signs. And so the answer is plus 10, which we can tell it leaves 5 positive signs in there. What about the second one? So they're removing, again, they're removing 2 groups. So removing 2 groups of what? Plus 4. Right? They're removing 2 groups of positive 4. And what does that leave? Minus 8. See how there'll be 8 minus signs left inside? So there's the answer to the first one, and there's the answer to the second one. So it's this one, and the second one is that one. There we go. Okay, so on this one they want me to do little algebra rules. I'm going to multiply. So remember this from your algebra days. You multiply like that. And so that's going to be minus u squared, right? Minus u times u. And then minus u times minus v is minus uv. And then minus u times minus 4. Two negatives makes plus 4u. There we go. Let's try the second one, part B. So minus 3 minus u times 3 plus u. All right, let's distribute. So the first one goes to both. Remember how this happens? Minus 9 minus 3u. He's done. And then the second one goes to both. Minus 3u minus u squared. And then we have to combine like terms. So we get minus 9. These two make minus 6u and minus u squared. There we go. And then finally part C. It's the hard one. U minus v minus 1 times u plus v plus 1. Yeah, this will be a pretty messy one, I think. Okay. We do them one at a time. This u goes to all three. U squared plus uv plus u. He's done. And then the minus v goes to all three. So that'll be minus uv minus v squared minus v. See what happened there? That minus v multiplied boom, boom, boom. It became boom, boom, boom. And then lastly, this minus 1 is going to go to all three. So that'll be minus u minus v minus 1. When it hit this, this, and this, the minus 1. All right, now we have to combine like terms with all that stuff. So here we go. U squared, I'm going to underline them as I go. uv and minus uv, those cancel, don't they? And u and minus u cancel. And minus v and, oh no, careful, they don't cancel. Minus v and minus v makes minus 2v there, doesn't it? And minus v squared and minus 1. So there we go. I underlined them to make sure I didn't lose anything, and I shouldn't have canceled these minus v's. They didn't actually cancel. They combined, didn't they? Minus v and minus v made minus 2v. Whoops. It doesn't matter what order you have these in. They made minus 2v, and then minus v squared and minus 1. The other stuff canceled. There it is. All right, is square root of 9 an irrational number? No, square root of 9 is just 3. It's false. Irrational, an irrational number is a decimal that goes forever with no pattern. So 3 is not that. It's just a whole number. Okay, so in this one, minus 9. Well, they want me to say what categories it's in. Remember we had a map? I could draw it again real quick of the number system and how it worked. We had a map that went like this. We had so all of these together are called the real numbers. That's all the numbers, not imaginary, in other words. And then within that, we had the rational numbers and the irrational numbers. And the rational means numbers like 2/3, ratio numbers. 2/3, 0.7, which is really 7/10, right? So it's a decimal, but it's the same as a fraction, a ratio. And even numbers like 0.1 0.4 bar, which goes forever with a pattern, or 0.3 bar, which is actually the same as 1/3. So, and also negative, you can make that negative and that one negative or whatever. Negatives or positives. So then within that, we had the integers. And the integers are numbers like, that are whole numbers, but they can be, negative or positive whole numbers, right? Not decimals or fractions. They can be positive or negative, but they're not decimals, not fractions. And then within that, we have the whole numbers, or natural numbers, same thing. And that's just 0, 1, 2, etc. In other words, not negative numbers. So, and then over here, the irrational numbers, that again means decimal, goes forever, no pattern. Because here's a decimal that goes forever, but it's got a pattern. That's rational. It's the same as 1/3. It's a ratio number. But decimals that go forever with no pattern, those are irrational. What are those? Like pi, 3.14159, blah, 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 blah. Or square root of 2, square root of 3. Basically all the square roots, except not square root of 4, because that's just 2. Square root of 5, square root of 6, square root of 7, square root of 8. Not square root of 9, that's just 3. Square root of 10, square root of 11, etc. Basically all the square roots, if you check them on your calculator, they'll end up being decimals that go forever with no pattern. So that's a map of the number system and how it all works. So then getting back to the question, where's -9? Well, -9 would be an integer. -9 is an integer. It's a negative number, but it's a whole number. So if -9 lives right here, then it's living in the rational box, it's living in the integer box, but it's not a whole number, right? It's not living in the whole number box. So is it a natural number? No. Natural numbers, natural numbers, natural is the same as whole. Let me just put it right here. Natural is the same as whole, so it's not. It's negative. Natural numbers and whole numbers are not negative, only positive. So it's not a natural number or a whole number, but it is an integer. So it's not a natural or a whole, but yes, it's an integer. Yes, it's a rational because it's in the rational number box. You might think, yeah, but it's not a fraction. Yeah, you could write it as a fraction, -9/1. That's the same as -9. So you see, it really is a rational number. It really could be written as a ratio. Is it irrational? No. Is it a real? Yes. All of those are real numbers. The real numbers is the whole world there. So that would be, yes, it's a real number. All right. Okay, so number 11, our last one. Cube root of 750. Well, we got to break down the 750. It's 75 times 10. 3/4 make 75 cents. And 5 times 5, break down the 10. 2 times 5. So we broke it all the way down. 3, 5, 5, 2, 5. That's all the little pieces that make a 750. So that's the cube root of, let's just put them in order. 2, 3. Oops, getting a little scribbly there. 2, 3, and then 5, 5, 5. 2, 3, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so now this 3 that's in the hook, this 3 is a 3-for-1 deal. It's like shopping at Target. It's a 3-for-1 deal. So you look for 3 5s and ship 1 out, and they're gone. 3 for 1. And so out comes a 5, and what's left inside is just the 2 and the 3. Okay, just go ahead and re-multiply them. That's 6. So 5 cube root of 6. That's the final answer.